G'day folks, this is Greg Judy at Green Pasture Farm. Today I just got through moving. This is I think there's about 25, 30 fall calvers in here. And pretty much all got done calving. They started the 1st of September and this is October 17th. So about 45 days. We haven't had a calf now for several days, but the calves look really good. We're gonna see how they do, but our spring calves always seem to grow out a little better than our fall calvers do. But I know other people, it's just the opposite. You know, they've been fall calving for many years and they get along quite well with that. We just noticed our spring just seemed to be a little bit more growthier. I will say this, there's no flies. You know, calving in September. The first part of September, you're gonna have some flies, but it's frosted now 2 days in a row and there's no flies on these cattle to speak of. It's dry. This ponds went down about 2 feet. It was coming out of spillway about 90 days ago. We went through basically September and August and September without any rain, and you know, 90, 95, 93, a few days of 97. Man, I tell you, you get that kind of heat, it just really takes the moisture out of your ponds, the water. The deer, getting closer to deer season. You can tell the deer are rutting now. I saw 3 bucks this morning in one herd. One really, really nice buck. And saw some on the way over here, some does. I got over and I looked down that bottom, I saw a flash of white. Of course, it was the white. It's the tail on one of the white tails. This is the time of night you see them. It's gonna be dark here in about 25 minutes. But we're gonna join the 2 herds back together here in about, probably around, I'm trying to think, it's gonna be about, probably 12 days. We'll have the spring calvers and the fall calvers. Just makes it a lot easier. But I'll tell you what, calving, this works nice. All these new calves, you come in here and boy, there they are. You don't have to look through, you know, 350 animals to find a new calf. And just makes it nice. So we've got the land to do it on, and that's what we did. This spring, we took the fall calvers out, and it just made it so much easier to calve. And yeah, we're working on that new farm. The boys got all the corner posts driven. The 200 acre farm, the one that's 17 miles from here. We hope to start working on pulling wire here in the next week or so. Get our braces in. We got to get the H braces all put together, and then drive the timeless 5.5 footers. And we're gonna be putting a 5-wire, 3 hot and 2 ground on that farm. And it's got a lot of grass on it. It's a grain farm, so it was grain. People cropped it. And pretty good soil, a lot better soil than what we're used to. It's probably got some places 8 to 10 inches. It's funny, down on the bottom, we were drilling holes to drive the post with our 6-inch auger, driving an 8-inch post in a 6-inch hole. And we went down 4.5 foot and never hit clay. I couldn't believe it. I mean, you talk about some black soil. Now, it was down in the bottom. I'm not gonna tell you the whole farm's got that on it, but there's some of it that does. And you know, that fescue that's growing on that 4.5 foot of topsoil, it is just unbelievably tall and vivacious looking. It's just, well, you can tell it's just not struggling to get everything that it needs. I mean, that deep soil, there's a difference. You know, I'm standing on clay here that's, oh, we've probably got 2 inches maybe on some of this. Down in that bottom, we're gonna have probably 8 inches, 7, 8 inches of topsoil. But, you know, after seeing what some of the other people in the world have to go with, specifically, I'd never been to Newfoundland before, and man, I tell you what, I got an eyeful. Those are some tough guys over there, and ladies. That is some really, really challenging real estate over there. I'm talking rocks. I thought we had rocks in the Ozarks. We don't have rocks. We don't have any rocks, not compared to Newfoundland. I mean, those folks have rocks. I'm serious. I've never seen anything like it. But yeah, there's rocks in Newfoundland. But we're in a heavy clay base area here, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, it's one thing about it, it's pretty hilly out here, and the row croppers many years ago used to plow these hills, and they didn't get a crop, and so they left. And that's good for me, because now we don't have to compete on rent against row croppers, which is kind of tough to do when they're, you know what I mean. There's some outside help they're getting, and we don't get that as cattle farmers. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I still gotta move a wire over here, and there's our new tank. You can see it down there. We used to have the it was actually what they call the pride of the farm, and they lasted 20 years, 22, yeah, 21, 22 years. But these metal tanks, they're bigger. That's actually an 800-gallon tank, and I had 400 gallons, so I doubled it. And what that does, it just gives you a lot more supply of water coming out of this pond up here. So, you know, when we get all the herd back together, we're gonna be over 400 head. And, you know, on 800 gallons, you know, each cow drinks, you know, 3 or 4 gallons. In the summertime, they'll drink more than that. You need a big tank. Otherwise, you're gonna run out. In the wintertime, you don't need as big a tank. But in the summer, when it's hot, you don't want that tank to get low. And when the cattle can hear water running into it, they freak out. They do. They start fighting and pushing and shoving. And you'll actually find a cow in it. Not on ours, because in the summertime, we run a hot wire across that. That keeps them from doing that. But yeah, get a big enough tank on gravity flow. Now on pressurized, you don't need an 800-gallon tank. Not on pressure, not with 400 head. But when you do gravity, that's a different deal. There's no pressure. And so basically, whatever comes through that pipe, that is a 2-inch pipe and a 2-inch valve. So it's cranking out water. But I love this time of night. Absolutely beautiful. It's probably about 34 degrees out here. You can tell fall's kicking in. The cattle are working over the, I noticed today on the big herd, the spring calving herd, boy, they're working over the acorns. And I want to get them out of that timber, or keeping them out of the timber, but there's still some trees around the edge of the, there's one right down there. That's a black oak, that big tree there. And you just got to be careful when you got young calves. They get a big belly full of acorns, you can lose the calf. So we're getting enough, we got a big enough herd. There's not enough acorns for one calf to just sit down and get a bucket full of them. So there's competition out there, plus they're getting some forage. But if your cows run out of grass and they tank up on acorns this time of year, I knew an old guy, he'd lose a couple calves every fall. He'd kill them. Acorn poisoning. So just be careful right now. The acorns are falling and your cows spend all day in the woods, especially the young calves. You could have some health issues. So just put a hot wire around that timber until at least another couple weeks, and the acorns turn brown and get a little age on them, then they're safe. But boy, when they're green, you can have some real issues. Isn't that a pretty sunset? Folks, I'm out of here. It's getting cold. I gotta get back to the truck, and we'll see you next time. Hit that subscribe button on the way out, and just a heads up, we're gonna be having some South Pole heifers on our website next week, and those are from my friend up in North Missouri. They're all bred to our South Pole bull, and some of them are actually out of one of our South Pole bulls. So there's some 3/4 bloods and there's some pure bloods South Pole heifers. Some are bred, some are open, and some are just yearlings, but it's a really nice set. I think there's 13 of them in all. So it's a real opportunity for you to get a start of cows that's gonna look like these. They're already the right size. You know, you don't have to downsize them. These are gonna make 950,000 pound cows, these heifers are. So hot wire broke, nothing but grass, just the way you like them. Folks, y'all have a good one.